Hello and welcome to another edition of everybody's favorite Full Follow. I'm your host Justin Butler, and with me today I have another Kyle. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing pretty good, Justin. Hi, everybody out there in JP's Full Throttle Land. Hope you guys are doing well this evening.
So, first question I have for you: just open up and tell us a little bit about your racing and
Okay.
how you.
Well, my racing is a little unique. I started a lot later than most guys that are racing now in today's standards. I started at 17 years old, but I've been a race fan since I was a kid. I grew up watching Scooby-Doo cartoons, Flintstones. When Diamond Ridge Racing back in the mid to late 90s, when Diamond Ridge and Melling Racing had the Cartoon Network cars, and they had Scooby-Doo and all the characters on the cars, when Turner Network had the sponsorship back then, that's what really got me into racing. And from there, along with the NASCAR 98 video game on PlayStation 1, thanks to the Montag family who helped inspire me with that, it was something that just grew into, some call it a passion, some call it an obsession. Either way, it's been a big part of my life since I was 7 years old. But from there, once I had a career ending high school injury as a wrestler, I decided to give the racing a shot. I started testing some late models, just trying to get a feel for race cars. Really got my racing start in four cylinders and legends cars, worked my way up into late models, did some road course racing, which is really a lot of what my bread and butter's been the last 7 or 8 years. And then I worked my way in and out of ARCA here and there. Made my debut in 2021. I've done a lot of spotting, but now I'm hoping to move up into the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series for 2024. Hoping to make my debut later this year if everything works out. And from there, just continue to move up the ladder to do the Xfinity Series, hopefully move up into Cup. But I also have aspirations of running the Rolex 24, which, if everybody is on right now, actually, ironically.
Yeah. Um, so you say you have aspirations of running in that race.
I do.
What type of cars, what series do you think you want to run between the two series?
Um, are you talking about the classes in the 24? Or
Yeah.
are you asking if I'd rather run IMSA versus NASCAR, or
It's
dabble in both?
with NASCAR.
Honestly, NASCAR has always been near and dear to my heart. I would prefer to go cup racing every Sunday, but there's nothing wrong with IMSA. There's a lot of great gentleman drivers. There's a lot of great pro drivers that have come out of different disciplines that have used IMSA as a nice way to have a home to keep racing at a very reduced schedule, and it's more flexible for somebody like me who still works a full time job. So while I'm going to continue to pound and find opportunities in NASCAR, I'm not opposed to running a GP, a GTP, or a GT3 or any LMP stuff in the IMSA divisions. I mean, right now I'm approved to race in Michelin GT competition on the IMSA side. And for those that don't know, it's essentially like the Xfinity series of the IMSA competition before you move up to WeatherTech, which is on as we're speaking. So I already have some headway there, little more so than I do in NASCAR due to my extensive road race background. So it really just depends on what kind of funding we get and what opportunities present. But I mean, my first choice would be NASCAR because, like I said, it's important to me. But I'm not against IMSA. I love the road racing, and the endurance racing is something that has been a big part of my career for a while now.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into racing. You said Scooby Doo. Are you a big Scooby Doo fan to this day?
Absolutely. I actually love Scooby Doo. I have watched it since I was a kid. I loved all the most of the Hanna-Barbera cartoon flavored cartoons when I was a kid. I still, even on occasion, if I have nothing going on a day and I need something to clear my head after a stressful day, I will still throw on some of the old cartoons. I still collect them on DVD. I know I'll catch some grief from some guys in the garage, but No, I still watch them on occasion, and if I ever have kids, I want to share it with them. It's something that my dad and my grandfather passed down to me that's pretty special. So a lot of times if I watch it, it's a way to just kind of reminisce about my childhood.
All right. So what type of job do you have? Do you have something in motorsports to keep that passenger fired up during the off season?
My full-time job is not in motorsports. I actually work in IT, so I work with computers. I work primarily as a contractor for the federal government. I've been with that since 2017, or actually 2016, but it was in a different capacity. I went into IT in 2017. I transitioned. So, but I've been doing that everything from help desk to system administrator. Now I'm a POC for one of the Navy networks on base here locally in Southern Maryland. Trying to get back into some sysadmin stuff. I'm actually getting ready to start working on a couple Microsoft certifications I want to get over the next 6 to 12 months. So I want to continue to just better myself in my career because racing is just so volatile. I wanted to work in racing as a motorsports PR guy or do something on the marketing side. But to be honest with you, when I graduated high school and got into college in 2008, it was right around when the economy crashed in November that year. So racing, they had that big Black Monday when a lot of guys lost their jobs and there was a lot of uncertainty going into '09. So I knew that I needed to have a backup plan. And while I resisted it for a while, I'm very much grateful to this day that I do because I know a lot of people in motorsports that are always every time November rolls around, they're very, very tense until they know what their next opportunity is. And as money is harder to come by, opportunities in racing are drying up. So you really have to have a backup plan and a B and a C plan nowadays just to really protect yourself. It's a very volatile world we live in right now.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what you like about the NASCAR Cup Series. You said you wanted to make your debut this year. What track you thinking that might happen on if you get that opportunity? If
Well, I tested a truck about 4 years ago for a team down at Myrtle Beach. I did it as a way to just get a feel for the NASCAR Craftsman trucks, and I really loved just the way they drove. Mind you, it was just kind of a shakedown test for a team, and it was very cold that day in January at Myrtle Beach, so we really couldn't. Once that we got a little heat in the track, we were able to put some times down, but we had to be very, very careful just due to the track, due to the fact that we really couldn't get any heat in the track. So, but it was a nice shakedown for me to see how I stood in the trucks. But I would like to make my debut at Martinsville this year if possible. I'd like to run. I'm approved for everything up to Nashville at this point, so I can run anything on an oval that is a short track up to 1.33 miles, which is Nashville Super Speedway. I'm approved for the road courses as well. And then I'm hoping if I can get a couple starts in, it'll open me up for the mile and a halves and then eventually the super speedways with Daytona and Talladega. So my goal is to run Martinsville, Richmond, and a few others, but it all comes down to funding, which we're actively searching for. We have some very good irons in the fire right now. We're hoping to finalize some stuff over the next month, but it really just depends on what's going on. We do have a nice new home, which we can't really release at this point, and we're looking forward to hopefully down the line being able to share that with everybody. But at this time, we got to we're no comment in that section.
all right, no problem. So if if uh if you could do anything besides NASCAR racing, what would it be?
Hmm. As far as a driver or anything in motorsports, is what are you
Anything
thinking?
in motorsport too.
Anything in motorsports. Well, outside of being a driver, I have spotted races before in ARCA as a main spotter. I've done some secondary spotting in trucks and Xfinity. So I would like to become a spotter, but it's getting harder and harder to get into that nowadays just because a lot of your smaller Xfinity and truck teams and even some of the ARCA teams, there's so much talent at the cup level and at the Xfinity level for the bigger teams. So a lot of the teams just tend to use the cup spotters for the weekends because they know it's experience for a lot of their younger and more inexperienced guys on the radio. But even your experienced guys, like there's guys that they're comfortable with. So it's very hard to break into. But I would like to get some more time doing some spotting. I'm possibly going to be spotting at Daytona for a driver. I don't know. I've had the phone call. I've been told to be on standby for the ARCA series, so I will have to see what happens, and we'll be sure to let you guys know if that comes through. So,
All right. So would you rather spot or drive?
oh, I'd love to drive. I mean, driving's been a passion of mine since I was a kid, but I do enjoy the spotting because I feel like it helps me. What I give to drivers helps me know what I want on the radio as a driver myself. And I feel like a lot of times where drivers tend to get upset with spotters, they they don't see what the spotter sees, where they and I feel like it gives me the and sometimes where spotters tend to get upset with a driver because they make a certain move or they didn't agree with it. It's given me a way to see both sides. So now I can understand that if the driver doesn't make a move, I can't see certain things from my perspective that the driver can. And now I understand sometimes why those guys don't make those moves. And it gives me a little more respect for, okay, I have to trust my driver and his ability, and I have to trust what he's sensing and what that truck or car is giving him and what the situation's panning out at that point that I can't see from potentially a mile away.
Well, guess what? You're the
What's
first
that?
one to know who it's a Killers Racing uh personnel has agreed to come on full throttle, so that would be fun for me.
Absolutely.
Um and that will be coming up, but first I have a couple more questions for you.
Sounds
So
great.
where where are you originally from?
I'm originally from a small town that many people mispronounce and don't have any idea where it's at. It's called La Plata, Maryland.
Papua, Maryland. Good.
Yes, I'm originally from about an hour and change south of Washington, DC. I'm in the ideal NASCAR area.
Oh, awesome.
I am totally joshing you and kidding. Everything in Southern Maryland is either dirt bikes or drag racing. The any most NASCAR stuff left Maryland back in the 80s when Beltsville Speedway closed. So unfortunately, I couldn't have picked a worse area to be from. So it makes it harder to find opportunities as well.
Well, hopefully being on full throttle tonight will open up some doors and people will click on your video and hopefully we can help you get into the Cluck series. I'd love to see you make your debut at Martinsville.
I appreciate that. I hope that this works out as well, and I hope that all the KLR drivers that have been on the show thus far and those that are yet to appear, I hope we've given you some great content for the show, and I hope that we do get an opportunity to do some truck series racing this year. I'm ready to bang fenders with the best of them, and I'm ready to learn from a lot of experience in that field. And I really just want an opportunity to prove myself. And hopefully, if there's any listeners that are out here in full throttle land that are listening to Justin's show or regulars, we have partnership opportunities available this year for the races that we have. You can reach out to KLR Management Group with Tanya Banning, Lockrow, my wife and business manager. God bless her because she is a patient woman and has to put up with me. So, if you're interested or you have a small business or a midsize or a big company you'd like to jump on board, give us a ring or shoot an email. We'd love to let you know what opportunities we can bring to the table and help grow your company. So,
Wow, I didn't realize that. But no, it's just so fun to have people like you, Kyle, on learn about your passion for motorsports and you get to see my passion for what you guys do.
I can tell I have read up a little bit. Tanya has giving me some information on your show and just a lot about you. And I can tell you are a diehard in motorsports, and I like your background back there with the checkered and American flag and the full throttle. I like that. That's cool. I need something in the background of mine. All I've got is a window and a picture and a wine rack, which looks like that we have a drinking problem. But no, it's all for appearance purposes.
Yeah.
We're trying to look fancy, like we have our pinkies up when we're eating dinner and
So
drinking.
real quick, who have you spotted for and who's the easiest to spot for?
Ooh, I have spotted for an ARCA Bryce Hageberg, who currently drives for Andy Hillenberg with Fast Track Racing. I actually made my ARCA debut with Andy in October of 2021 at Kansas during the finale that year. I was in a fifth entry, and through working with Andy for a couple years, Andy actually called me to spot the test for Bryce just to see how we do and how we got along. And it worked out really, really well. And I spotted about 4 or 5 races for Bryce at Pocono, Kansas, Talladega, and Daytona, along with the test. And then I've spotted trucks for Austin Wayne Self. I've spotted Xfinity for Austin Wayne Self when he attempted to make a couple of Xfinity races on the road courses. I've spotted for Bailey Curry when he was with Mike Harmon in Xfinity. And I did a little bit of spotting for Tony Costantino at Charlotte in the ARCA race in practice. Andy was taking care of some family matters at that point and had a couple things that he couldn't get to the track until a little later that day. And he asked me to fill in for him, and he was going to do the race. So I was very blessed to get those opportunities, and I want to do more. I really miss it. So
You will miss it. Well, you heard it live, right here on Full Throttle. He wants to do spotting. He wants to go driving. So give him a gas pedal. Give him something.
give me a gas pedal, steering wheel, and a headset, and we'll have headset and steering wheel. We'll travel.
Yes, sir. Well, that will do it for this edition of Full Throttle with Kyle. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you're new. I will see you next time on Full Throttle.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.